Okay guys, this is going to be the last video of our study guide for our CBA on Friday. It says at school on Friday, 3 out of every 4 students are wearing jeans. There were 600 students in school. How many students were wearing jeans? Well, the first thing that we have to do is we're going to do jeans to total. That's what they tell us we are comparing. How many students were wearing jeans? 3 out of every 4 students. How many total students were at school? Well, that would be 600. So we need to find out how many are wearing jeans. So we are going to cross multiply. 4 times the question mark is equal to 3 times 600. 4 times the question mark. I don't know why I wrote the number 2. I meant to write the question mark. 4 times the question mark is going to equal 24 or 1800 when I divide by 4. So I have 1800 divided by 4. 4 goes into 18 4 times, which is 16. I'm left with 2. Bring down the 0. 4 goes into 25 times. 5 times 4 is 20. Bring down the 0. 4 goes into 0 0 times. 0 0. So when it says how many of the students were wearing jeans, I know my answer is 450. And if we really wanted to look at the y, we could replace the question mark with 450, and our ratio over here looks just like the ratio that they gave us in the problem. Now we're looking at the second question on this page. It says a farmer watered 3/8 of a field. What percentage is equivalent to the fraction of the field the farmer watered? Now, just like we've talked about before, you need to memorize your eighths. If you memorize your eighths, it makes this a lot easier. But let's pretend like we didn't memorize our eighths, and how do we change a fraction to a percent? Well, the first thing we have to do is change it to a decimal. So what is 3 divided by 8? 8 cannot go into 3, so I add a decimal, take it up, add a 0. 8 goes into 30 3 times, which is 24. I'm left with 6. Add a 0. Bring it down. 8 goes into 60 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. 60 minus 56 is 4. Add another 0. Bring it down. It goes into 45 times. 5 times 8 is 40. And I'm done. After I get my decimal, I then take my decimal and I multiply it by 100. 0 times everything is 0. Done with it. 0 times everything is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 3 is 3. I have 3 decimal places in my question, so I need 3 decimal places in my answer. So my answer is 37.5%. Last but not least, we have our graph, just like we did in class. It says the relationship between the number of hours traveled and the number of miles traveled on a family road trip is graphed below. What is the ratio of hours to miles? So we're looking at hours to miles. Make sure you write this the correct way, that it's hours over miles. When I look at any point, I'm going to pick this one because it both has pretty numbers. I have 4 hours and 300 miles. If I wanted to reduce it, I can divide by 4. If I divide by 4, I get 1 over 75. How many miles could the family travel in 12 hours? Well, it goes up 75 every time, so I know that if this is 10 hours, it would be 750. So I need to do that 2 more times, would be 11, 12. I know y'all can't see it, but it's right there. 11, 12. We're going to add 75, so this would be 825, and then this would be 900. So our answer would be 900 miles. Remember, you could also solve this as 1 over 75 is equal to 12 over some number. You can either cross multiply it or use your equivalent ratios to figure out the answer. And then last, we have how many hours will it take the family to go 700 miles? If you notice, 700 is not on our table or on our graph, but I know that it's going to be between 9 and 10. And I know that 10 is 750, but let's try this. So we're going to have 1 over 75 is equal to 700 with a question mark. we're going to have to cross multiply and divide. So 75 times your question mark is equal to 700. So we're going to take 700 and divide it by 75. 75 cannot go into 70. How many times does 75 go into 700? Well, I know that it goes 9 times, but it does not go 10. So we're going to try 9. 9 times 75 is 675. When I subtract, I borrow from the 6, or the 7, make it a 6, change the 10 to a 9. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 7 is 2. I can add a decimal, take it up, add a 0, bring it down. 75 goes into 250. Let's see. 75 goes into 250 3 times, which is going to be 1 or 225. I'm left with 25 again. So what do y'all notice is happening with our number is that the 3 is repeating. And what fraction is 0.3 repeating? What fraction is 0.3 repeating?
Oh, 1/3.
1/3. So my answer is 9 1/3 hours. I hope this helps, and good luck on your test on Friday.